We still have to make predictions, Ben, before I'm going... No, let's introduce the place first. Of course, coL.qxc is our North American Terran spawning in the left bottom side of Daybreak, which is our first map. And on the right top side of this map, we have TargA, representing both Norway and Australia. So I hope all the Aussies are still awake. Ben, making a prediction, like, it's actually kind of silly because I have a good feeling at TargA, but there are so many things that come into play. QXC, A, is probably still more experienced on this level, and B, we're playing on the North American server. So betting against QXC is probably a silly thing to do, but I have faith in TargA. I actually think he's quite an underrated Zerg. He played really good in Kiev. He beat Hazuops, he came very close to beating Pommy, and he took a map out of MMA. And that second map was that ridiculous game on dual side where he 6-pulled with drones and he had MMA on the ropes. And this is a bizarre scenario, but if TargA would have won that game, MMA would have been out of the group. So our champion in the end was super close to actually being eliminated in the group stage by TargA. So Ben, I'm going with TargA just because I feel he deserves it.
It's a good prediction, and I think that it's a fair prediction. I'm not going to necessarily agree with anything you said. At that same tournament, QXC of course went out in groups. By the way, Kev, it's Sinsu Beans. So thank you, chat, for...
Who said it? Who said it?
Everybody. The first one was this guy, who I'm not going to say on air because my producer would yell at me.
Why? What's wrong with it? Why is that weird?
Because
doesn't say anything wrong.
It's
now you have to talk about it.
I can't.
Well, I can say it because I don't know what it means, so they can't blame me. Slutra? Why? What's wrong with that?
Facepalm. This game is live, folks. These players are playing. I mean, they were chatting in the game lobby. TargA was saying that he hopes he doesn't have to deal with any lag issues as he is playing from Australia, right? Australia?
That is correct, man.
And
down under.
I still haven't made my prediction. I think QXC. Not because I think TargA is bad or anything like that, but I have so much faith in QXC, who is putting down a bunker in a really annoying spot.
Well, this is like the latest bunker I've ever seen. Like the Zerglings are already out. There's a Marine over here though. He might pick off one drone. Yes, he does. That's a big win already.
Yeah, QXC's got some incredible micros, some of the best that there is, quite frankly. And like you said, he picks up that drone, and SCV comes back and is going to go back to work on that bunker. But now there's Zerglings out, so this is probably the end of the QXC aggression. And the reason I think QXC's going to win is because I think that he has the highest potential skill level of North American players. Well, it's hard to stand by that statement with guys like Illusion playing so well these days. But definitely, I would have made that statement 6 months ago. He's been the big question with QXC is always what level is he at right now? What's going on with his practice? As right now, Kev, you're pointing out that there's some command centers going up.
No, he hits a pretty big supply block really early on into the game. Took him the full 25 seconds while being supply blocked at 27 on 27. TargA is actually going to end up losing this Overlord, I think. Man, that must suck so incredible hard. Because he already lost a drone, maybe?
Yeah, it's going to be close.
It's going to be fine. I think he will be fine, no? Fine, fine. Yes, well, it was close. Pretty quick Roach one, by the way, for TargA as well. We see those two first aliens, but yeah, sorry Ben, the only reason why I interrupted you was to point out a pretty big supply block.
Yeah. TargA is also facing one right now. He's stuck at 36 supply with another Overlord popping out. That was the one that he started when he thought he was going to lose the one in QXC's natural, so he's okay. And yeah, so I do think this will be a very close series. It looks like QXC is leaning towards some Hellion Roach play.
Or, I'm
sorry, what am I talking about?
That's pretty impossible.
Marauder Hellion play.
Meanwhile, these 4 Hellions are starting to make their way really deep into the natural of TargA. TargA using 3 drones to block. That's pretty cute, but he's just going to end up losing them.
Oh, nice Hellion shots. QXC microing these Hellions brilliantly. He's already killed 8 drones, and he's probably going to get one more. 9 drones is going to be the final count. So nice initial aggression there, and if we look back in the main base of QXC, we can see that he's got a couple Marauders popping out, Stim about to finish up.
I think that TargA wants to go all in as well. It seems like both these guys want to be really aggressive, which is going to turn out quite funny, because we're going to see Stim Marauders with Hellions.
Against Roach Baneling.
Against Roach Baneling Ling.
So impossible to say which way it's going to come out. I guess it just boils down to the control.
You know, I've played a lot. Last 2 days, but I've been playing really with a high ping from the office, which is just super uncomfortable. Anyway, I had this game against the Zerg when I'm like preparing to move out with my 2 base all in, and this guy literally attacks into 3 cannons and he crushes me. That's like the most embarrassing thing that could ever happen. Because I am actually supposed to put serious pressure on him and he just kills me in my natural. Yeah, that could only happen if I have lag. Lag!
First Roaches making their way across the center of the map. They're not going to be able to get much done with Marauder waiting for them in a bunker. They do see the Hellion count, though, which could be a good hint.
I really hope that TargA abandons this plan that he originally had. Because
he is droning now.
Yeah. Have to be careful, he's bringing in those links, so he's going to end up losing at least a few roaches. He's going to lose all the roaches. 2 banelings marching as well. Marauder is like
stimmed. I don't know if that stim was necessary. It was some kind of a lot of damage on those 3 Marauders. QXC has switched off his barracks, so maybe he's not planning on going all in with this. Perhaps the aggression from TargA made him feel like he should just sit back.
He knows he's probably in a pretty good shape right now, which he is, of course. 38 drones against 38 SCVs. No third hatches yet going up. TargA was pretty low on gas as well, so basically everything is low for everything went slow for TargA. So far, so good for QXC.
I want to say that there's a lot of support for TargA coming from the C server. There was actually a really big post on Team Liquid just hyping up TargA for his Sunday match, saying, "Hey, everybody, tune in. C loves you, TargA, blah, blah, blah." Stuff like that. I shouldn't say blah, 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 because they're very heartfelt, touching words. Supporting their lone representative in this tournament, I believe. Is there any, there's no one else from...
TargA told me this. Like, I spoke with TargA about this for quite a while, and he said, like, yeah, whenever Moonglade used to play, all the Australians used to tune in and support Moonglade. So a lot of people were indeed very, very happy that TargA made it into the NASL. And so am I, Ben. We need a representative from Southeast Asia, even when his roots are in Norway.
Right now, it's just TargA trying to restabilize after the aggressive opening that literally did nothing. He hasn't taken a third yet, but he's just now really getting to a point of 2-base saturation. Also starting a Spire, and that would be a very interesting switch into mutas off of such a low, kind of slow economic start.
Agree. And what we're going to see right now is something that reminds me of Braddock versus Night End. I think if QXC is going to bring those first 2 medevacs and just attack straight up, I actually think he's going to crush TargA. However, if he's going to try to drop him in the back of his base, he might give TargA the time that he needs to get mutas out and will actually stabilize. So we'll see what QXC is going to do with his 2 medevacs. But I really feel if he just attacks straight up, which regarding the fact he has 6 Hellions over here, or even 7, he should do that, and I think he's going to be more than fine. And I think TargA has an almost impossible task ahead of him, stopping this.
We'll see. Still no third base from TargA, and QXC's like, you know, he's set on denying this third, but there's just not one. So I'm a little frankly curious to see if he even continues with this aggression at all. Looks like he is going to march forward.
QXC is very disoriented right now.
Yeah.
And baffled.
There's a couple of banelings. Sorry, he just killed me. Went back to the synonyms. I didn't realize it until I heard our producer laugh from behind the glass wall. Yeah, with those banelings completing, I feel like QXC might feel inclined to back off this aggression.
If QXC would have just run towards straight away, which of course is always scary, and it's so much easier to talk hindsight. We have no focus war, so we can see, well, QXC, if you stim up that ramp right now, you're actually going to be more than fine. But of course, when you play a game and you know there's $150 on the line. Once more, guys, for everybody who's not aware, the NASL updates every single best of 3 we cast. The winner gets $150. So, of course, you are careful with your moves. But slowly but steady, I feel that TargA is getting a more scary army out.
Yeah, he's starting to build that mutable. Roach Ling Baneling is good no matter how you cut it. It just kind of comes down to micro and engagements. Baneling speed's not done though. It hasn't even started, quite frankly. And I mean, without it, it makes it very tough for TargA to engage. That third base was forced to cancel.
I like this, by the way. QXC sent a Marine over here, and he sees that the Overlord is dropping it, so he's like, alright, I'll just throw my orbital to the middle. I'm pretty confident anyway.
That's really smart. Oh, and TargA being very smart as well. Tries to move a Ling there to block it, but oh no, it was the automaton that blocked, but he got out of the way.
Quite some mutas right now. It's going to try to pick off something, but QXC is very well positioned.
I'm really surprised that that QXC hasn't forced this fight.
Yeah, he's up 30 supply. The Terran has been up 30 supply for a long time. It should be the other way around, of course. QXC forced to lift off this orbital right now. Ben, pretty big engagement going on.
Big engagement indeed, but QXC in a good position, able to drop a big stem and force TargA back once more. TarGA's not trying to harass these mutas at all. The Baneling's coming forward, and there's a nice explosion on a lot of Marines.
And a lot on one Marauder too.
And a lot on one Marauder too. Still enough Marines left over for TargA to feel like he can't fight with his mutas. finally the Muta's going to start to go towards QXC's base, and this is what they should have done or no, they're going to try to pick off Medivacs. These Mutas need to be harassing though, Kev.
Yeah, well, he just never really had the scary amount of Mutas. After that horrible economic start, he just never really recovered, and he's going to try to pick up some units one by one. He's going to try to save time. His hedge is not even up yet, but it's at least further than it's ever been in this game.
Probably going to be cancelled again. That's not a very big army for TargA. Just finished morphing some Banelings. Maybe he'll be able to roll in. Baneling speed just now starting. And again, third base is cancelled, so TargA really has his back against the wall here on Daybreak.
I don't really see what TargA can possibly do. QXC is just well prepared everywhere. He has some Stim Marines. Oh, quite a few Stim Marines over here. TargA thought for a second that he could deal with that army, but Stim Marines are very good against
Resources lost tells a hell of a story. 4,300 to 1,500. Wow. QXC is just
complete domination.
He's outplayed TargA this game. Maybe not even outplayed. TargA just opened a build that was really bad against what QXC opened with. And since then, he's had a very difficult time recovering.
Yep. I mean, he's been mining less throughout the entire game, and he lost 3 times as much. So yes, then often you're in a pretty bad spot. Math does tell stories, man.
It does indeed. Again, TargA's going to try to take that third expand.
QXC so rich. His money so high? I have no idea. Let's ask him. QXC, why is your money so high?
Not because he's been winning tournaments. No.
That's pretty mean. Why would you say that? He's such a nice guy. You like him so much. You always like.
I do. I love
you
QXC.
Always talk up QXC to me. You're always like, oh, he's such a good player, he's such a nice guy. And now you're making fun of his expense. On his expense.
Yeah.
You're a dark person. You see, you're in a dark place.
I thought you were gonna run with it, man. You just you hung me.
Yeah, no, I don't make fun of people.
Oh, please. And he never lies either.
I actually never lie.
Mutas for TargA are looking for an opening. They might be able to pick off a siege tank here. That's a nice one to pick up. But Marines are still close by, and TargA just having a hard time getting anything going. Finally, his third base will complete, though. So
look at these 2 siege tanks, by the way. They are very. What are they?
Maybe they're silly.
No, they're not silly.
No, they're not silly. Maybe
Mutas! We're almost flying in.
Maybe the tanks being there is a blunder?
No, I think those 2 tanks...
Are they confused?
Being there are mystified.
Mystified at QXC's tank placement. TargA backing up and realizing that he's going to have to defend this third expansion. QXC's money is really, really high. Now he is maxed, so it's not going to matter that much.
So many Zerglings!
Ling's going to come streaming in. Banelings are way behind, so they're having a little bit of trouble connecting.
There's still a lot of Banelings left.
Fight for TargA.
I think so too, man. There's still a lot of Banelings left, and they will actually clear up everything that QXC had. These Mutas should be able to take out at least 4 or 5. Oh, I love how QXC is splitting them up. You see that?
All of a sudden, is a cute move, but all of a sudden QXC is in some trouble. That money being so high.
If only he had warp gates right now,
man. If only he had warp gates. If only he had more production, period. Big Stim goes down.
There's no planetary fortress here either, but there are a couple of missile turrets and there is a siege tank.
There's also a couple of Banelings, and they're going to really they're going to chase these Marines at least.
Bunker as well. Wow, this TargA just made a pretty big mistake.
Yeah, overcommitting a bit, feeling as if he could maybe end the game. But QXC was able to hold.
That fight was great.
QXC, really, he could probably build 5 more barracks.
That fight was really, really great. That was the best thing that could have ever happened to TargA. And I think if he would have waited 10 seconds for new Banelings to finish, he probably could have done very, very well. But yeah, he just tried to steamroll in straight away. That one tank, those missile turrets helping out a ton, by the way. Very smart from QXC. Having those.
Yep, good job backing up, fighting in a favorable position. Mutas do finally make their way into the main base of QXC. They'll pick off a single tech lab before getting ushered out by a handful of stimmed Marines. TargA taking the center of the map.
Usher.
He, one thing that he still retains is a little bit of map control thanks to that last fight, but QXC with all that money has been able to macro up again pretty quickly. He's up to 180 supply against the 150 of TargA.
And this is what I like with TargA though. He's always annoying, always trying to delay bases. It's a small thing, but it's such a big thing.
Yep. And
gonna try to pick off a siege tank, but it's not going to work. QXC must be scared at least a little bit though after that previous fight. He's like, okay, I had a lot of money, everything went good for me until that fight. I could probably make that mistake once, but that's something that definitely can't happen to me again.
You're right.
So I can only imagine he's going to be much more careful right now.
Yeah, in that vein, TargA needs one more fight like that to really lock this, well, maybe not lock this game up, but get him back into a more even footing.
His Muta count is starting to get scary though.
Yes, it is. He's up to 18 Mutas, which is, I mean, he can probably I still wish he was harassing more with the mutas. Like they're being. I know that he's looking for a chance to pick off siege tanks, but QXC's out here on the map, and there's openings for mutas to fly in and do damage in the bases.
I guess so. 2-2 is of course already ready for quite a while. 3-3 is almost ready for QXC. That's gonna have a pretty big impact. That's gonna make those mutalist even a little bit more useless, because then those Marines are gonna deal some real serious damage.
Yeah. And QXC's going to continue to make his way forward. A little drop in the back of TargA's third base.
A water drop. Interesting enough.
Kills a handful of drones and then is chased away by that Queen. Marines catching the mutas. Lurgan's going to come in as well. They'll surround and kill this small Marine hit squad. And right now, QXC's tank's a little bit exposed. So another big fight here. Baneling's going to connect very well with these Marines. Wow. And that's another pretty good fight for TargA. He needs to kill that tank in the middle there, and he does.
Yeah, that actually went really good for TargA once more. He barely lost any mutalists. He killed a lot. I actually thought I thought QXC was doing pretty good. He's going to end up losing this medevac as well.
Yeah, TargA will pick off that drop. QXC trying to send it back in on the back of that engagement. But
the biggest problem is that QXC has the entire left side of the map, and he has a ton of money, and TargA just can't expand anywhere.
Yeah, QXC's income is just really taking off. He's at, I'm not sure that I agree with this choice. Mutas can chase down these medevacs. QXC actually realizes it and unloads everything.
If I was TargA, I would just chase that. But reinforcements are coming already for QXC. TargA probably waiting for new upgrades. 2-2 is on the way. That's going to make his army a little bit more scary. The biggest problem has just been money throughout the entire game for TargA, and QXC has been doing a phenomenal job at making it so hard.
TarGA's just on 55 drones, man, which is, I mean, he never really got to a critical drone mass. And it's been tough for him. These Ling's going to try to surround and kill this planetary. And actually,
he's going to kill so much. He will be able to kill it, but not before losing around 30 Lings. Yes. Well, it was exactly 30.
Nice.
It was exactly 30. Oh, Banelings roll to the right.
Oh, and the Banelings not being in this fight means that the Marines alone are going to be enough to deal with Zergling Muta. And now TargA a little bit cornered. These Mutas going to run straight. Oh, wow.
Oh.
Misclick. That is
GG.
That's the straw that broke TargA's back. GG. TargA has left the game. QXC takes Daybreak.
QXC does take Daybreak. Kevin Riley.
Yep.
Good job by Kevin.
The bandana Terran. The parkour Terran. He can do a backflip.
Yes. Yeah, actually, he told me about this. He's pretty muscular as well. So
he said on State of the Game one time that he's pretty sure he can beat In Control in a fight. And then In Control tackled him at an MLG. I think QXC got really mad, if I recall the story correctly.
Wow, I want to know more about this story. This sounds like
Jeff will tell you that story. He likes to tell that story.
After how many Long Island teas?
Probably just none.
Okay.
He'll probably tell. Just ask.
But it's probably gonna get better the more he has. Like after 3, probably like QXC flipped over.
This is what happened.
QXC flipped over like 3 times, landed on his neck, almost broke his neck, but I soaked him.
But I healed him.
Yes. Gave him a senzu bean.
Smart. Anyway. Man, I'm so out of it today. That game was brought to you guys by Kingston HyperX. Check out their website, kingston.com, for info on their SSD line and all their HyperX RAM. We are going to kick it to a short commercial break while we set up this next game. But when we get back, it'll be game number 2 between TargA from Southeast Asia and QXC from actually really close to here.
Arkansas.
Arkansas?
Yes.
What?
The second map will be played on Odyssey, so that should be pretty exciting. Hoping for a better game, because Ben, in all honesty, after Moro against Puzzle, maybe we got a little bit spoiled, but that game was nowhere near of the same level.
No, that was not the same level. Mistakes on both sides. QXC's macro slipping, TargA making some suspect decisions. The last engagement from TargA was really kind of, well, it was bad. It was bad.
A lot of things were bad in that game, Ben. But then again, there are still 2 awesome players, so you never know. I mean, Moro vs. Puzzle game 1 was pretty, yeah, how to say, a little bit of a letdown as well. It's pretty disappointing. Game 2, however, was good, and Game 3 was epic. So I'm not giving up yet. This is our only TVZ of today, so these 2 guys have to step it up a notch.
Our next game is actually MC versus Jinro, so we got a TVP following.
I think one day.
That right? Is that our next game?
Yeah, it's MC versus Jinro is our last game of the day, so that's going to be pretty epic as well.
Cool. I want to give another huge shout out to our chat. Sunday is like the most busy StarCraft day of the week, so I want to thank you guys very much for tuning in today, especially our subscribers. Much hugs and shouts and kisses and all those things for you guys.
Yes.
Especially Yak Attack. because I like saying Yak Attack.
I'll give a shout out to Chief O.
Yak Attack already missed Tomorrow versus Puzzle, but he can catch the VOD on the restream tomorrow or on YouTube, youtube.com/NAStarLeague.
If you're giving shoutouts, man, I want to give a shout out to Chief 0887 because 08 is like my nickname and I'm born in 87. Bam, Chief, you've got this.
Wow.
I want to meet that guy.
That's like a serious, like a legit connection.
Yeah, it is. Too bad you're disconnected from the chat, right? Or
no, I'm here.
Oh,
It just says, welcome, please check out the information section.
Cool.
And enjoy our broadcast.
I hope Chief heard that.
All right, well,
Maybe Chief is my...
you just made a new friend.
Maybe he's like my long-lost brother.
It's like a, oh god, another Rotterdam. The world cannot handle more than one Rotterdam.
The day I find another Rotterdam, you're gone. You're out You're out of my life.
Hello, I'm Rotterdam, and I'm joined by Rotterdam.
Oh,
Today we cast Starcraft II. Oh, thank you, Rotterdam. You're welcome, Rotterdam.
No, I would never call myself Rotterdam, you know that.
What would you call yourself?
Just Kevin? Rotti maybe, but not Rotterdam.
Well, that would not be nearly as funny as the scenario I laid out.
Your scenario was pretty funny. We see TargA once more going hedge first. By the way, guys, of course I am keeping my eyes open regarding the build orders, but no need to give you guys every little detail unless something remarkable happens.
Yep. Looks like a hatch first from TargA, and
out of the ordinary.
QXC is thus far gasless.
Something that baffles me.
Yeah, something that is. Oh wow,
unintelligent.
We can't say that. That's like a little mean. We can't call something.
No, like our producer is giving us words to say.
Instead of saying silly, say unintelligent.
Yes, we're gonna make a lot of friends.
TargA, that was just an unintelligent mistake.
Yeah. And then he's like, you know what? That Skype call, forget about it. It's like, oh, why? That seems a little sheep-headed.
I was gonna work in sheep-headed.
Once more, QXC is gonna put up a bunker over here. Marine in beautiful position.
By QXC. He's gonna get a couple of drone kills this time.
I think one. He gets the couple. You and your couples, man.
Yep. That is more than one, less than three.
And this is pretty annoying for TargA since his spawning pool was really quite late. He went for
he tried to cheat a little bit, and QXC is the kind of guy that's always going to send that early Marine forward, even working on this Overlord. I like how he's left this one guy behind the bunker, so he's got a place to run back to with that second Marine. Right. So he's just going to continue to be super annoying.
Look at this guy, man. This is like, it's like, oh, TargA, that's not a fight you want to take.
Look, QXC is controlling so much space with like 225 minerals or whatever that cost.
How would you call this guy, man, who's just sitting here with a gun? And like he shoots everything that passes by.
That's very clearly Billy. That's the only.
Creep 2 more does get picked off as well. That's such a big pickup by QXC. Oh, poor Billy.
Queen on the high ground pokes Billy in the back of the skull, and he dies a horrendous death.
The bunker is almost up to the SMV. Oh, so close. 37 out of 40 seconds. However, QXC must be already more than just fine with the damage he dealt.
Yeah, he's killed 2 workers. He lost 3 SCVs though, trying to do this aggression.
He picked up a creep tumor as well. That's pretty big.
And just can continue to add barracks. Yeah.
Well, Ben, that was pretty demented. Erratic?
Now I have to figure out a way to work in minutia, but I don't know how I'm going to fit that one in.
Well, so far, man, this has been an engrossing game.
It's been a very seesaw day of StarCraft II.
A seesaw?
Yeah, the gameplay has been vacillating.
This is getting.
All right, we're getting
a
little too distracted with words.
Yes, I agree. Double mule being called down straight away by QXC. After that, Orbital is up at his natural. Combat shield being researched first, so he's getting combat shield before stim. That's something a lot of Terran players like to do against Void Ray all in. I faced it a couple times.
Yes?
Yeah.
It is indeed. I doubt that QXC is going to be facing that here.
Me too, but I just want to point it out there. Which I actually think is silly, because I really think stim against Void Ray all in is so much better than combat shield against Void Ray all in. But that's a different matchup. I can save this argument for a different time.
We can save it for MC versus Jinro.
Do you think, how cool would it be if MC pulls off a Void Ray all in? I'd actually be one of the happiest protesters alive.
Jinro would not be.
Jinro would hate it.
He would
and he
so
hates
mad.
me for saying this already. I hope he's not watching. Jinro vs MC will be played live as well, by the way, guys. So basically 3 out of 4 games were live today. That's pretty cool.
Pretty cool. I want to say how much I like TargA's opening. He went with the gasless style, and against what QXC is doing, it is so incredibly good. Terrans have learned that you can build a 3rd command center quickly to kind of punish Zerg's inability to really pressure a fast 3CC with a gasless opening. But that's not what QXC did. He just added more barracks, and he's kind of slowly moving towards what looks like some kind of a mid-game push. TargA is basically saturated on 2 bases now. He's got 3 hatcheries. Yeah. He's mining on all 4 gas. He's going to be in a brilliant position to crush any kind of mid-game aggression.
This is so much better for TargA in this game than it was in the previous game. I was just wondering, by the way, Ben, what time do you think it would be in Australia right now?
Wow, that's a good question.
That's really hard to guess.
We'll find out. We've got good men on it.
Bailing nest being morphed in right now for TargA, same as his third hatchery. He's a little bit supply blocked, just now starting his overlord, so that's the first real mistake that we can point out so far. Unless you want to call him losing those 2 drones early on in this game a mistake, but I wouldn't really necessarily call that a mistake.
Yeah, that was more the result of QXC's opening. Yes. QXC is starting to march forward with some Marines. Stem only halfway done. That's not going to be finished. Maybe he just wants to get some map control. But that Stem's not going to finish up anytime soon. And I don't think QXC's opening is going to work against what TargA's doing. He's getting his lair. He's on double Evo. We're almost certainly, well, it's Zergling Baneling. We might see Muta, but I'm feeling some Zergling Infestor here. So we just got the word that Australia is 18 hours ahead of California.
Or 4 hours behind, isn't that? Doesn't that make more sense?
6? Wait, 12.
Ben, focus on the game right now. A lot of Marines are coming in actually. Might actually focus, might actually force a cancel on this hatchery. We do have quite a few banelings though. This is going to be a tricky moment.
Oh, and Catch is forced to cancel. But now TargA's going to surround these Marines and QXC
picking the banelings.
Very cute control.
So nice.
Making that a much more cost-effective exchange.
And almost once more. Wow. That was so good. QXC killed 6 banelings, Ben.
Yep, and look at resources lost. Look how much closer it is now than it may have been had he not microed that so incredibly well. It is going to be a Mutalisk play out of TargA. So my feeling was off.
But this time he is going to get baning speed a lot quicker, so that should help out just a little bit.
That was a big mistake in the previous game. I don't think he forgot. Well, I don't think he intentionally skipped it. I think it was forgotten.
A lot of creep tumors over here, and he doesn't want to lose all those, so he's going to try to deal with this. Look at QXC focusing down all these banelings, man.
QXC's got some of the best micro in the business, Kev. It's just always really fun to watch. But some Marines being misrallied into these Zerglings is... Medivacs as well is a little bit too much of a blunder to forgive. That was an expensive loss.
You are not allowed to use blunder anymore.
Oh, you're right. It was a lapse in not a lapse in judgment, producer. It was a lapse in proper gameplay.
Execution?
A lapse in execution. There you go. Well said.
Rotty helping out Bitter with English.
One of the synonyms for blunder is apparently boo-boo. QXC made a boo-boo.
And we were not allowed to say boo-boo. Oh, that's true. We see QXC picking up 2 Zerglings. Near the Salnaga Watchtower. QXC still being really active. I love how active TargA is with his Crypto Mars, and I love even more how active QXC is in denying them.
Yep, he's really being very active around the map, just in general. Ling, oh, now there's Mutas here, though, so this entire force is going to clean up those Medivacs. Going to have to retreat.
Losing 3 Mutalisk? I think that was so far worth it. If he doesn't
lose 3 Medivacs, it's not worth it at all.
He's not going to kill 3, but he might kill 2. Or maybe he will kill 3. You want to bet? I think he will kill only 2.
I think he'll only kill 1. Nope, 2 and 3.
Should have taken the bet.
And an SCV. And all of a sudden, it's looking kind of bad for QXC. These Mutas have no anti-air to have to deal with. They're just going to have free reign. So 6 SCV kills there for TargA. 7 even. 8 even. Wow, TargA.
Yeah, but he's going to end up losing quite a few Mutas. Like, he lost 1 already. He's going to lose 1 more. He's going to end up losing all of them.
Why does he always do this? Yeah. He groups his Mutas with the Zerglings. And so when the Zerglings move, the Mutas move to them.
So he has them double group?
Yes.
You think so?
I
don't see them.
I'm almost certain of it.
He has Mutas in group 2.
Then I don't know why else they would have done that.
Neither. Nevertheless, TargA is still up 30 supply and is playing a really, really good game. This is the complete opposite of the previous game. Now TargA has all the map control.
He's got all the control. He's doing everything right. QXC's made a couple of mistakes here, but mostly I think this is a product of QXC's opening. It was an old, no longer really viable opening, and TargA's...
Look at all those banelings, man. They're rolling.
Yep. Kind of Demaga style. Baneling's going to come rolling in. Zergling's going to surround everything.
The Zerglings are basically dropping
move your legs! TargA. And
Baneling's getting really close.
God, those detonations. Those detonations. TargA going to clean up QXC in game number 2. A couple of tanks going to try to siege up and save the day, but it really makes no difference. QXC down below 100 supply. And
all over the place.
Just kills
I want to see it, Ben! Beautiful. Zerg art.
We saw it, but they didn't because they were looking at one-arm
Wow.
flexing TargA.
Wow, our producer really dropped the ball on that one. But guys,
Not the producer, Elliot.
yeah, the NASL sound guy.
Way to fail, Elliot.
Our switcher.
Emmett.
No,
What
what
drop the ball, Emmett.
But Ben, the
Sorry.
good thing is we can pick this as one of our favorite moments. So
And we can highlight it again tomorrow.
actually,
Wednesday,
maybe we could have instant replayed it, but now it's too late for that.
We can't because his feet are up on the desk. He's like smoking. Look at this. I wish we could put a camera on. He's got his hands behind his head. His feet are up on the table.
Man,
All right.
I think this is the last Sunday that we'll
Now
be working.
now the producer's going to drop the hammer.
Producer's all right, switcher guy.
All right.
It's time to step it up. But in all seriousness, man, super game by TargA. So much better than game one. I think he did pretty much everything right. He didn't take a fight that he couldn't win. Maybe a few times he lost 1 or 2 meters too many. Like even the fight that he was going to win anyway, he flew in with 6 meter lisk. But QXC, the only thing he was focused on was killing a few meters, and he took out 3 meter lisk. 3 meter lisk that should have never fell.
QXC micros really well.
His focus fire, man. His mouse control must be so good. I would actually love to feel QXC's mouse and feel his sensitivity, whether it's really quick or really low, because he clicks units so incredibly quick and really accurate. You never see him move command, so it's probably always attack, move, click, attack, move, click.
That part of his play is what has always made me a QXC fan, and I feel like you can see just in like his choice of builds, the fact that maybe he's not completely up to date with the metagame. Maybe I don't know. I feel like that was a really just like an old school build. It doesn't really. That was 1 racks expand into like 4 racks.
Combat shield, stim.
Yeah, I don't feel like we've seen that at a really high level in a while. But anyway, we've been talking a little bit too long. That game was brought to you guys by iBuyPower. The PCs that power the North American Star League. Check them out at iBuyPower.com. Don't go anywhere. Final game between QXC and TargA after this.
See the preview screen right now. So map 3 between QXC and TargA is coming up. The map will be played on dual side. So once more, dual side is going to be our final map of this best of 3. And Ben, the last time we had dual side at map 3, it was awesome.
So Chief's a hater, but J.I. loves you. See? Because we just stopped talking to read chat.
Yes.
All right, dual side's the map. It is game number 3. All comes down to this. And just in general, I want to say a huge shout out to the chat. How many of you guys are from Southeast Asia? Who's here supporting TargA up at whatever strange hour it is? I think
it's only 4 hours.
9:30.
No, it's only 4 hours behind us, Ben. So no, 6 hours behind us. 18 hours
6.
ahead. So right now it's probably around
9:30 a.m.
No.
p.m.
What time is it right now?
I can't do this. Math is not my thing.
What time is it? It's 11:30 in Australia. Or is it 11:30 here? No, that can't be right.
Okay, can we change? Let's talk about something new.
Let's talk about something we know.
This conversation is very perplexing.
Oh, Chief loves me after all. Okay, nice, Chief. I like this. I'm going to give more love to the chat right now. Don't worry, guys, we've got you. QXC actually going for a refinery opening once more, so we're going to keep a close eye. And Ben, the worst thing is we haven't even seen Chance today on stream yet, so I think after this game, whoever takes it, this is it's going to be Chance's moment.
Time for Chance's close-up.
Chance is already excited. He's like, all right, this is going to give me so many new doggy dates.
Lays down right down where his spot is, close to the camera.
Chance is such an awesome
Such a boss.
And guys, everybody just tuning in, wondering what did you miss today? We can talk about it real quick before this game really kicks in. Our first best of 3 of today was the one between
the Thorze and Chef.
No, Chef versus Whitera. And those games were really, really awesome. I'm not saying that because I always say that. Those games were actually really, really cool. So guys, you want to watch those games on VOD. The second best of 3 that we cast, I should say the score as well. And somehow Whitera managed to win that series 2-0. So very good job by Whitera. And we just saw Moro versus Puzzle, which was really, really entertaining as well. Game 1, a little bit of a letdown. Game 2 and 3, really, really worth watching. And now this is our third best of 3.
A little bit distracted by QXC again, putting up this bunker.
Not the best spot right now.
Pressure, yeah, that's not as nearly as protected as it was before. You can put that bunker at the bottom of the ramp and do it that way. But he wanted to change things up.
Man, I can't wait to do my write-up. about 2 days. We saw so many awesome games.
And MC versus Jinro is our final game.
Yes,
today, and
that's what I wanted.
I think the last time they played, it was Jinro beating him in the GSL in a tournament match.
Wow, that's cool.
It was like the round of 16, right? And Jinro beat him to get on to the round of 8.
But since then, man, MC had a ton of success, and Jinro has been a little low on success.
He's definitely not enjoyed the same success as he did early in the life of Starcraft II, but he's still one of the best foreign players.
He's still a really, really good player and an awesome guy.
He's probably underrated, honestly, right now at this point in his career. Kind of like HeyPro.
HeyPro, well, I think people are starting to realize that HeyPro can be on any given day, he can be one of the better Zergs in the foreign scene at least.
Again, QXC is going to be using this Hellion Marauder opening, and this is a good map for it. It's very open in the center of Dual Sight. Dual Sight is typically considered a Zerg map. I wanted to talk about this in the beginning, but we were making too much fun of our switcher. So my thinking was that, wow, QXC must have made this choice because he's got something prepared for us, and it looks like it is going to be some kind of Hellion Marauder push.
That's what you said exactly for Puzzle as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just...
Wow, that was a really quick cancel, by the way, by TargA. I mean, with this Hellion Rest just keeps going. The big problem for TargA now, by the way, Ben, is I do agree, of course, with your point regarding dual sight, even though I'm not a TVZ expert like you, certainly not when it comes to like maps specifics. Unless I just want to talk what everybody else says, but I like to actually talk from my own opinion. So I do agree with you. I think everything you said made sense. Big problem for TargA right now is that he doesn't know about these this Marauder switch yet.
Yeah.
And that's pretty scary.
But QXC is just doing it off one rack. So, I mean, the same opening we used on Daybreak. Remember with the games that Holt did at the with Stefano with the Lone Star Clash, opening this way. Holt did it with 3 racks. You
know, Ben, I really think that was the best Starcraft I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was. There were 2.
The winner bracket finals.
Yeah, however many of the games they played, there were some. You're exactly right. Some of the highest level Starcraft on both sides that has ever been played.
At least what I've seen. And coming from me as a Pro Tools watching a TVZ, I think that says a lot.
Hellion's still just poking around trying to deny creep and do that Hellion thing, but TargA's done a great job thus far of getting some tumors down and pushing them forward. He's got a lot of coverage already. And
he has 2 Marauders right now. Stim is almost ready. 3 Marauders. 4th Marauder is on the way. Let's take a look at the unit count with that for TargA.
There's no Rotorn this time.
TargA's in a little bit of trouble.
He could be. He could be in quite a bit of trouble, man. He's got the Marauders in position. Stim is now done.
Apparently we have a little bit of a sound issue, but as you guys can see, my sound is definitely on, so I apologize for that for the people at home. That's all we can do right now.
They're going to have to be heroes. They do drop a nice transfusion, a second nice transfusion, focusing down, I believe, one of the Marauders. These Lings, these slow Lings. Oh no, wow. Surling speed just now starting. Huge mistake. And but I just don't know that QXC's got enough here. These
I think if QXC would know about the timing of the baiting nest of the circling speed, I really think he would be more aggressive right now. He would be like, all right, sup, I got 6 Hellions.
This is bad for QXC if he doesn't go.
Wow, look at TargA's going back to droning. 10 more drones on the way for our Southeast Asian / Norwegian, which makes no sense because it's like across the world from each other. Zerg player.
Absolutely bonkers with the droning.
By the way,
that's off our synonym sheet.
QXC, of course, a former Brood War player. TargA was a Warcraft 3 player. He was quite known in the Warcraft 3 scene, but I would almost say for all the wrong reasons. Not because he was bad-mannered, he was just a little bit of a troll, you know. He liked to make fun of people, they had their own little Norwegian clan. He was never that serious about participating, even though he was pretty good. He was not a super serious competitor, but he was a good player. But he loved to troll on forums. That was like, in the good old days we had the SK Gaming forums. That was everything for Warcraft 3 players, and TargA was very active on those.
Hellion's doing a good job of denying that 3rd expansion here, and QXC going to continue to just poke around Stims and starts to work on this Spine Crawler. Not enough energy for a transfusion there. Ling's going to come forward and try to surround, but the Hellion's being microed very well with no Baneling speed.
Now this Queen is going to fall as well. TargA's going to have to really muster out a couple of additional links. That's exactly what he's doing quick. 34 links are about to spawn, and that should be more than enough.
I still just don't feel like this is good enough for QXC. He's 10 workers down. TargA's Spire is finishing up, and when he gets the Spire out, he can start to really hammer out the mutas.
Love this Terran base, by the way, from QXC.
Yep, nice little SimCity working.
Wow, he's doing really good with those Hellions, though. Those are very cost effective. They are 6, 12, 6,
cost effective.
They all have at least 6 skills, man. How sick is that?
I've never seen a Hellion that didn't pay for itself. Never in my life, Kev.
Not even one that Goose was driving.
Tom Cruise?
No, Goose. Tom Cruise would have like
No, man.
40
Tom
kills.
Cruise is the worst hellion driver of all time.
Kick the tires and light the fires.
110 supply for QXC, who's pushing forward with a lot of Marines. Of course, Stim is done.
We have only 6 Banings. I really think TargA needs more additional links. He's saving up money for his spy. Now he finally picks off a couple of Zerg. Oh, that's going to be a long fight.
Says QXC, and now TarGA's got a scramble. 30 Zerglings at once.
Come on, make Banings.
Queens all coming down. He's got a Spine Crawler there.
Yeah, one Spine
really
Crawler
his time.
against so many Sim Marines. It can be good. I love TargA once more, by the way, Ben. Dropping Overlord over here. And having 3 Zerglings, because he knows QXC always sends 1 Marine to deal with that Overlord. How cool is that? Like, those are the little things.
Small adjustments.
So, that's very, very nice. I love that, man. I can appreciate this. This is my highlight.
And 118 supply for QXC, and TargA has been given the time that he needs to get these extra units out. I don't think this is going to work.
118, look at this, 118 out of 118, and both are supply blocked, so this is about as even as we're going to get it. A little bit more army supply for QXC, but...
Zerglings are so fast on creep, and ouch!
Wow.
That was not a cost-effective trade for QXC at all.
The opposite is true.
But 109 to 105, still kind of close in terms of the supply. Mutas are popping out now. QXC dropping in the main base at the same time. I totally missed that. That's why the supplies are so close. He managed to kill 10 drones with that drop and picked off this hatchery on the right side of the map. So great multi-pronged play by QXC, using that attack to pull TargA's attention somewhere, pull the caster's attention somewhere. And
speak for yourself. I saw it.
We both saw it way late, bro.
No, I saw it on time. Almost on time.
And yeah, so what could have been great for TargA now puts us back at a fairly even spot. Even QXC maybe a little bit ahead as his 3rd command center is done, just waiting to be able to land.
Wouldn't go that far yet, Ben. I still think that Tarma has a pretty scary army out on the map right now. 68 links, 7 Mudas. His 2 Banings as well. I think he does have Burrow. No, he doesn't have Burrow.
Yeah,
he really wants to take out this command center, but there are siege tanks right now. That's a fight TargA can take, and that was very nice for QXC.
Yep, nice little exchange there. Even going to pick up a Bane link. Medevac did get shot down, but 3rd base
he should have taken out earlier.
Will be secured. So
you see Banings rolling around. TargA is actually down right now in supply. He might be able to pick up this Medevac as well. He knows it's there. Mutas are on the chase. It's like a heat-seeking missile, man.
And those Marines right now, they know they're in for a bumpy ride. Billy gets ejected, and so do the rest of his cousins.
Do you know that song yet? The Bumpy Ride song?
I haven't heard that one.
It's gonna be a bumpy ride. I wanna boom 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 with your body. Something like, yeah, I still haven't heard that song.
No, it sounds awesome though.
It's really bad. It's very cheesy.
Well, next time maybe we can instant replay that to that song. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be a bumpy ride. That would be so cool.
Billy, no! Muta's making their way down to the 3rd base of QXC, but he's in a good position for it.
Ooh.
Still kind of a close game, but TargA, this is kind of characteristic of his ZBT. He can just never get a 3rd up.
Unless he plays on Odyssey, then he has 5 bases.
Yes, in which case he wins.
QXC is heavily or sincerely outmining, severely I should say, outmining TargA right now, and that's actually a problem. TarGA's going to have to make something happen, but QXC with tanks right now.
He's stupendously outmining.
That's not what I was
His
thinking.
economy is towering over TarGA's.
Yeah, towering makes a little bit of sense.
QXC's income vastly superior to TarGA's.
Oh, chance. Oh, seems like TargA wants to go for it, but it's going to be so tough. There are so many siege tanks. They're kind of exposed.
Need to stem and run, and nice splitting there by QXC. More Baney's going to stream in, but they're all going to blow up on siege tanks. That was not the kind of control that TargA wants. He might have it. No, he doesn't.
Too many
Does not have enough mutas to clean this up. And that was a great fight for QXC as the dust settles. 145 supply to 110.
So hard to engage near these planetary fortresses.
Oh, now he's going to run into more units. Now QXC is probably going to get aggressive. That was a huge win for him.
Wow, that one drop really put QXC so much back into the game, or even ahead, because before that everything was kind of going TargA's way, and the fight over here went so good for TargA too. However, that one drop and taking out this hatchery, so 2 major blows at once, really crippled the TargA's economy for a long time. QXC managed to somehow stabilize over here at 6 o'clock, and after that it's just been going upwards for QXC and down for TargA.
QXC just kind of moving around the map right now, making sure there's no hatcheries in places that he can deal with. There aren't any. There's just that one up at 12 o'clock. And I'm sort of surprised that he's not dropping right now. But either way, it's still 170 supply to 120.
I guess he doesn't want to drop because he knows the mutas are on this side of the map, which I think makes sense, by the way.
This one Marine feeling very brave.
It's pity, man.
Second thoughts. This is what second thoughts look like. And now he's dead. So, QXC still posturing. I guess maybe he wants to max, just shore up all of his production, make sure he's in a perfect position before he does push. This is giving TargA some time to reestablish some units, but his economy is still...
TargA's gonna need like...
Yeah, he's 55 drones again. Why does he drone so little?
He lost quite a few, no?
10.
11.
Fine, 11.
Circling with 1 HP. Does survive. There's quite a force from QXC. If TargA takes it out without barely losing anything, that's actually quite good for him.
Yeah, tank on siege is not going to be able to get much done. Oh, and this will all get cleaned up, but
they got the Medevacs, TargA.
180 supply. And now he's dropping, knowing those mutas are out of position. Maybe that was the sole purpose of that little squad, to pull the army. And
I feel that QXC didn't even lose as much as he should have lost, and he also killed way more than I think he should have killed. So that little hit squad wasn't even that bad.
Picking off some tech. Now that he sees the army of TargA over here, he's probably going to move down in onto the third base. And this is going to force TargA once again to try to run back and deal with this. But he's going to lose more economy, more drones. Might even lose a hatchery tank on the low ground, splashing on some banelings. So nice. That's very cute.
QXC is playing really nice right now. He knows he has a bigger army, so he knows he can sacrifice some units now and then for the greater good. And that's exactly what he does. He's crippling TargA's economy even more, like that was possible.
Yep, and TargA, well, he maintained his drone numbers, but he lost the hatch. Now he's down to 2 base.
Wow, look how many banelings he just used. Side block is so annoying for banelings. Wow, TargA just used like
by QXC.
8 banelings for 8 Marines.
And now TargA's in trouble, man. 113 supply against 180. QXC, he's just in such a good position. His macro this game has been excellent, by the way. That money has not built up like it did on Daybreak on the first map.
Also couldn't afford it to do that. Like on Daybreak he could kind of afford it.
TargA is in the main base harassing with some mutas right now. This is, I mean, one of the things you got to do to bring yourself back. But the problem for TargA is not QXC's economy, it's QXC's army, which is
58 Marines.
Yeah, 109 army supply to 64. And 58 Marines, you're exactly right. That is enough Marines to kill everything.
That is right. TargA picks up a reactor though, so it's going to slow the Marine production down by just a little bit, but this is a scary army. Oh, a couple of burrowed banelings, man, would have been the sweet dream of TargA. That would really bring him back in the game, but he doesn't have burrow. Can't afford it, has a bad economy.
Burrowed baneling play still a
little
bit.
I feel these Marines are so strong. They have 2 upgrades, but I feel they take out...
I don't think TargA really did much upgrading this game. Let's check. He's only at +2 armor.
So that makes a little bit of sense.
Marines do scale very, very well with upgrades, though. It's just one of the best units in the game, hands down. Nice scan by QXC, spots those mutas, picks off 1 or 2, and continues to march forward.
Man, this is turning into a grim prediction day for me.
No, you've got 1 right.
Yeah, but still.
And I've got 1 wrong. So
yeah, we're even, but after this you take a lead and you're already ahead of me. This is
bum.
Not good.
Nice.
I don't know, man.
I like it.
I don't like it at all. TargA's gonna try to engage while all the tanks are on siege, but then wisely decides to change his mind because that wouldn't work. Then again, he has to make something happen.
A lot of mutas gonna fall there.
Marines, man, they're so quick.
They deal damage so fast. So I mean, very, very hard to come back from behind with mutas. Like Infestors and Burrowed Banelings are your comeback units, and TargA has neither. He is going to try to engage right here, going to attack right into the tanks and the Marines, but very, very clearly QXC just has way too much. TargA supply dipping all the way down below 70. There's the GG. QXC takes it, ties up that series 2-1, even dropping the mules.
I love how our switcher was like really waiting right now. He's like, that's not going to happen again.
These guys will never make fun of me again. Little does he know that we'll always make fun.
We always have something. Yeah. We have something up our sleeves already.
Hey, what are you doing on camera 1? We got to look at Chance.
Yeah.
God, this was the deal.
He did screw up again.
He's in position. He's waiting for his close-up.
It's so
There's Chance, the esports puppy.
Oh, hi of course.
You talking about me again?
Hi, brother.
All right, Barcraft and Irvine, shout out to you guys. Man, that looks like a party, doesn't it?
It does. But is that really a party without us, man?
Obviously not. Obviously not.
Let's talk a little bit with them. Maybe you can talk with them.
Yeah, we will have some words with the Barcraft, but we're also going to have some words with QXC. Before we do that, we're going to play nothing. We're just going to go straight to QXC. No, we're going to play a commercial. All right. Commercial break, and then we'll get back QXC and the Barcraft. Bye.